Hey everybody, welcome to That's Good Stuff, the show where we review pop culture's newest releases. And this week, the newest release was Springsteen, Deliver Me from Nowhere. So this, as you could imagine, is about Bruce Springsteen, a biopic. This one is directed by Scott Cooper, which I actually have seen some of his movies. I didn't know who directed until I got home. I came home and I was like, oh, I have seen some of his movies. Works with Christian Bale a lot. He did Crazy Heart, which is another kind of musical biopic. It's not about a real. I don't. Is it based on a real person? I don't know, but it's Jeff Bridges, and he's like a country singer. That was pretty good. And then Hostels is good, a real good movie. And The Pale Blue Eye we actually reviewed on this channel a long time ago.
I haven't seen any of these.
No,
Mm-mm.
uh, Hostels is really good. That's probably
Hmm.
best before this. Well, we'll get your. So this is based on the book Deliver Me from Nowhere in elements from his autobiography Born to Run. So the main actor is Jeremy Allen White, who plays Bruce Springsteen. And then the only other person you probably know would be Jeremy Strong. He plays his agent, John. I can't remember his name. John something.
Lando?
John Landau. Yeah, you got it. And then that guy that plays Stingray
Hmm.
from Cobra Kai.
Uh, what's
He's
his
in it.
name? Bernard was in it
Bernard.
from Santa Claus. I was
Oh
looking up the
yeah, he was.
actors.
He looks really old.
Hmm.
I don't remember who he played though.
He's like the executive at Atlantic.
Hmm. Just looking. Yeah, David Krumholtz. I guess is the Al Teller. He's the record executive at Columbia.
Oh, Columbia.
Columbia. Okay. So Springsteen delivered me from evil. It really concentrates or from evil from nowhere.
From nowhere?
From nowhere. Is that a song of his?
I don't
Sing
know.
a song or something like that. Wasn't it a lyric he was singing?
It might probably was.
So this really concentrates on Springsteen's kind of creation of Nebraska, which is like his most critically acclaimed album. But it also shows a little bit about the making of Born in the USA, which kind of spin out of it. And it kind of deals with his inner demons that he's going through at the time, kind of a real dark spot in his life. And it also, we see flashbacks of his life, which I thought was pretty cool because they use black and white to show
Hmm.
the flashbacks. And we see his kind of relationship with his dad, which wasn't easy. And, it's not a hard plot to explain before we get into the spoilers. So we will. I should mention there's also a kind of a romantic subplot where he meets one of his fans and kind of starts a relationship with her, and she's got a daughter. So that's the basics. Jeremy Strong's his agent, and he's very loyal to Springsteen, and wants to do everything that is best for him, and deals with the executives who they want singles and hits, as you imagine would, because that's what sells. And Springsteen, working on this Nebraska album, which is really more experimental. It's like they say it's folk music, and
It's like the
because
first lo-fi album.
yeah, and we get to see how it's recorded and stuff like that. And it's a very personal album for him, so he wants it done right, and he doesn't want like a lot of publicity with it, and he doesn't want to go on tour and stuff like that. So we see his agent have to like deal with the executives who are kind of like, you can't do this to us. Um, so yeah, that's kind of basic plot. So I thought it was cool because you see most it was different from most musical biopics you see, because almost every time you see a musical biopic from like Elvis to Johnny Cash and stuff like, it's always about, the guy gets huge and then he gets into drugs and now you gotta watch him, be on drugs and try to get out of being addicted and stuff like that. That's almost like entirely how all these musical biopics go. Almost. There's always some difference, but there's always exceptions. But so this one was kind of cooler because it dealt more with the creation of the creative side of being a musician and writing songs and getting ideas for songs and playing with music and stuff like even engineering and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed that stuff, the music. I'm not a big Springsteen fan. Like Born in the USA, I actually hate that song. And it's not one of my favorite songs, but I actually thought it sounded cooler when they did
Yeah,
it
it sounded good
acoustic.
in the theater. Oh, acoustic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, this sounds better than
Yeah.
the
I was like,
actual one.
this is kind of a cool song. Um, but yeah, the Jeremy Allen White is good. I thought he did a good job. It's not too different than what he plays on the Bears, so I think that helped. He doesn't look too much like Springsteen, but he does kind of do the faces like Springsteen does.
Yeah, the face and the
Um,
voice he gets really good.
yeah, the voice was really down, especially in that Born in the USA part. I thought it was really strong. I mean, I'm sure he had some help too from a little engineering, but so yeah, it surprised me. I didn't think I'd like it as much just because I'm not a big Springsteen fan, but I thought the performance was great, and I thought the story was really interesting. So what did you think, Jonah?
Yeah, I really liked it. You were talking about with like musical biopics, like that they're all the same. Yes, but I usually really like these kind of movies. I know a lot of people don't, but I just get into like seeing how people like interpret people like famous people's lives because they're not always going to be like exactly the same. Like if you get someone to tell somebody else's like story, so I like seeing that. And this probably has like the most comparisons to the Bob Dylan one that came out last year. Because it focuses on like the stuff you wouldn't usually expect, like the more their downtime than like they're performing and everything. But and that I did really like about it is just how much it goes into like just how he finds like inspirations for songs, like how he's like reading like books, he's like watching movies, and he gets like the ideas from that, and then he can relate it to like his background. So I really like that because a lot of music, even not biopics, just movies about music, don't really go into that much. I don't usually see. They usually like skip over that like real fast. So I like seeing a movie do that, and then it goes through like the recording. I like seeing all like the technicals of like recording an album and everything, like when they're pressing the vinyl and everything. So I like all like those aspects and like how he's recording on like the cassette, which didn't make sense like for this time because it didn't really sound good. And you see they have like all that trouble like getting it onto a record because it just sounds bad like most of the stuff they do.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I liked all that. I like seeing just more of the personal story to it, and how it relates to that because I couldn't really guess where like the story was going for like most of it until the end.
No.
So, but it surprised me that it did like bring like just everything back into it and did have like a point to it. So, I don't know. I thought the cinematography was very good. I always like seeing movies that take place in like the 70s and they have like that kind of like just kind of like faded out and kind of like wood like look and like all the technology like all the wood and stuff like that. Acting was really good. Jeremy Allen White was does a really good job. Um, like I said, he looks and sound, or he has like a lot of the mannerisms of him, and his voice like gets really close to him at sometimes. Because at sometimes I thought it was they were playing like the actual like just recording of the song, but I don't know. I think it was the actor singing it, so
He
got
does
kind of
have a
confusing.
credit. Yeah, he does have a credit on it.
Yeah, he sung most of the movie, but I was trying to figure out like do some of them were they actually playing the actual recordings, but I don't know. Um, but yeah, I thought it was a really good movie, even just beyond like just normal musical biopic. I thought it was just a good movie in general.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like you said, I really like the direction. That really
Hmm.
surprised me because I wasn't expecting that. I was just thinking, ah, it's probably, a biopic. Not they probably wouldn't worry too much over that. But it does get pretty artsy, the direction, and it looks sometimes like an indie film more than,
Yeah.
a big budget movie or something like that.
It has like the colors of like a 70s movie.
Hmm. Yeah, so good job. I didn't know anything about Springsteen's like fight with depression or anything like that. So, it was real powerful. I think Jeremy Allen White did a good job with that and showing just the struggles and the darkness that he went through. And yeah, so it was a good, and I liked how the people are, there for him, even his agent. And he's like, I don't know how to deal with this. I'm just an
Hmm.
agent, but he was like a real friend to him. And then that one guy, I don't know who that guy was. Was his brother's? I don't. Do you know the
The
guy?
Stingray guy?
No, it's the other
Or
guy who was like driving him around, and he worked
it
on.
was just like some random like friend he had.
Yeah, I wasn't. I
They don't
wasn't
really
sure.
explain who he was.
No, not at all.
He's
Because
just there.
I guess he's his oldest friend or something like that. Because he's like working on
Was he the
motorcycles.
one that was from New Jersey too?
Hmm.
Or is that a different guy?
I think he was. He was because he had a motorcycle shop there.
Oh, oh yeah.
I don't even know what that actor's name is, so I can't really tell you who it was. He might have been part of the band, actually. Uh,
Or maybe he's just some random guy.
or maybe he's just some guy but yeah, he did a good part. And I did like that they were always eating at diners because I
Yeah.
love diner. Well, it was like making eggs on the top. It was like, dang.
Yeah.
But that was fun. Yeah, just a good movie. Surprising for me. I didn't expect too much from it, but it's always nice to be pleasantly surprised, especially this year, which we haven't had so many great movies, but I definitely put this up there with some of the best movies I've seen. We'll
Yeah.
probably talk about that later this year and closer to the end of the year, but yeah, I think so. Definitely a go watch if you can. I don't know how much longer it'll be in theaters, but
It just came out, so
I
should
think
be
it
out
made
for a while. Yeah.
8 million at the box office, I think, which is probably around what we expected. These kind of, lower movies, they're not big. Well, I can't say they're not big budgets because you wouldn't expect some movies to be big budgets, and they are, and that's just kind of Hollywood right now. But yeah, go check it out if you can. Tell it if you saw it. Tell us what you thought of it. Um, like, subscribe, and notify yourself for even more good stuff. And we will see you next time. Bye.